morning class 4. I hope you all are doing good. Now today we are going to do some revision exercises on this story which we had covered in our last life class, that is Helen Keller of unit number 5. Okay, so in this story we learnt about a girl whose name is Helen Keller, and when she was very small, when she was a baby, she she suffered a lot. She became very sick, and finally her parents got to know that neither she could hear nor she could see, and day by day her parents lost hope. Okay, but her mother believed deep in her heart that Helen Keller was a very bright girl. She was very intelligent. So what she did, she found a specially trained person, a teacher for Helen Keller, and that was Miss Sullivan. So we see in the chapter how Miss Sullivan teaches Helen Keller about different words by using a different technique. Okay, so this is what all we learned in this story, and at last Helen gives us a very beautiful message which says that words play a very important role in our life. Without words, we are expressionless. We will not be able to express, we will not be able to share our ideas, our feelings, and if we are not doing that, and if we are not able to do that, we will feel locked up. Okay, so yes, that was our story. Now today we are going to discuss some revision questions and also some textbook exercises based on this story. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Take care. Morning class 4. I hope you all are doing good. Now today we are going to discuss some more questions based on our chapter which we have covered in our last life class of unit number 5, that is Helen Keller. Okay, so we have studied this chapter, we have understood this chapter very well. So we are going to discuss some questions which are based on this story. Okay, so the first question says, when and where was Helen born? So in the very beginning of the story, it has been discussed. Okay, it has been discussed where Helen was born and when. So our answer is Helen was born in Alabama in 1880, and we all know where is Alabama located. Alabama is located in United States of America. Now question number 2 says, what happened to the baby one day? So who is the baby here? So we are talking about Helen Keller when she was a baby. So what happened to Helen Keller when she was a baby? So one day the baby became ill. Okay, so baby Helen Keller, she became very ill, she became very sick, and day after day, okay, after so many days, her fever stayed high. Okay, so she had very high fever for continuously many days. Okay, so this is what happened to Helen one day. Question number 3 says, what did everyone predict about the baby? What did everyone think? What would happen with Helen Keller in future? So they all thought that by looking at Helen Keller's condition, okay, she was getting very sick day by day. So by looking at her condition, everyone predicted that she might not be able to survive. She might not be able to live. Okay, so that's what they thought. Now we are going to discuss some textbook exercises, but before we do that, let me tell you, you all are supposed to write down these question answers in your English notebook in a very neat and clean handwriting. Okay, now let's discuss our textbook exercises. Good morning class 4. I hope you all are doing good. Now let's discuss some textbook exercises related to the story which are given to us on page number 87 and 88. So open your English textbook and come to page number 87, and we have this exercise as you can see on your screen. We are going to do this exercise in which we have been given 2 columns and we have to match these 2 columns. Okay, we have to match the correct pair of sentences, and also we have to do one more thing. What do we have to do? After we pair up the correct matches, we have to write down the sentences in the blanks below. But the twist is that we have to join these two sentences, these two parts by the word but. Okay, so we have to put but in between in between these two sentences, and we have to join them. So the first one is Helen lived after her illness. Okay, she was able to survive even after she was very sick, but she could not hear or see. So like this we are going to pair up these sentences by joining these sentences using the word but. Helen lived after her illness, but she could not hear or see. Okay, so now let's understand first why are we using but here. Both the parts of the sentences are opposite in nature to each other. Okay, so in the first part of the sentence it is saying that Helen lived after her illness, which is actually a happy moment, right, that she was able to survive. But now the negative part of the sentence will come. Okay, but she was not able to hear or see. So now this shows negative emotion, right? So this is how we use but to join two parts of the sentences, but they are opposite in nature. If the first part is in positive nature, then the second part which is placed after but, that part will be negative, or vice versa. So like this you are going to pair up the sentences, and then you are going to write down the sentences in the blanks given below by using the word but. Now come to page number 88. On page number we have yet another exercise. So first we'll read the 4 sentences which have been given to us on the very top of the page. First one says, her clothes were always dirty. She was often angry. Sometimes she lay on the floor. Her parents never scolded her. So these 4 sentences have some highlighted words. Okay, and the highlighted words are always, often, sometimes, never. Now these are very, very important words. Why? Because these words serves a purpose. Okay, they are used here for a reason. And what are they telling? Okay, why are we using these words? So these words are basically used to show how many times the action, how frequently the action is being performed. Okay, so when we are saying, suppose we take an example, going to school. If I'm saying that I always go to school, so the word always shows that I never miss my school. If I'm going, if my school is for 10 days, that means I have attended the school for 10 days complete. I have never missed my school. So always means when you do not miss a single chance to do that particular action. Now the second word is never. Never is totally opposite of always. Okay, never means that you have not done that action even once. If I'm saying that going to school, let's take that example again, going to school. If I'm using the word I never go to school, then that means out of 10 days I haven't gone to school for even one day, for not for even once. Okay, so 0 out of 10 I've never gone to school. Okay, now there are 2 words which may sound confusing, which are often and sometimes. But first, one thing to keep in mind, we do not pronounce this word often. T is silent, okay? So it is often. Now often means more than half of the times. Okay, more than half of the times, but not always, but not completely. For example, out of 10 days, the person might have gone to school 7 or 8 or 9 times. Okay, 7, 8 or 9. So this makes more than half, right? More than half. So often means more than half. And sometimes is less than half. Okay, less than half. Then it shows that the person might have gone to school for 3 to 4 days. Okay, so there we use sometimes when we want to show that the action is being performed less than half of the times. And when the action is being performed more than half of the times, then we use sometimes. Okay, Now, let's look at our question. So they have given us some questions and we have to tick correct based on our observation, based on our experiences, whether we do that particular action always, never, often, or sometimes. Okay, so I have ticked these sentences according to my experiences. If you feel that your response is different, then I would suggest you to go with your responses only. Okay, you can fill in these exercises according to your choice. So first one says obey your parents. Yes, I always obey my parents, so I'll take correct under obey always section. Visit your grandparents. I do not always visit my grandparents, but yes, most of the time, okay, most of the time I do, so I have put it under often. Fight with your brother or sister. Yes, we fight. Yes, I do fight with my brother, but not most of the time, very rarely. Okay, only 2 or 3 times, so I have put it under sometimes. Help others. Yes, always. Throw waste in the dustbin. Yes, always. Switch off the lights when you go out of the room. Yes, always. Leave the tap Leave the tap on while brushing your teeth. Never. Okay, never. Tear pages from your notebook. Never. So these were some questions which were asked to us. Now you can fill in these exercises according to your response. Now this was all for today's class. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Take care.